Hello, grade 9 learners. Welcome to our English class. I am teacher Myla Sikat, your mentor for this week. Congratulations for having successfully accomplished the lessons from the first until the 6th week. And now, we are going to explore the 7th week or the last lesson for the first quarter, which is about communicative styles. Are you ready? Let's begin! But before we proceed, make sure that you have the following with you, especially your learning activity sheets for the first quarter, week 7. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to identify the most appropriate communicative styles in the given situations and write the dialogues of the characters into comic strips based on the given situations. From the previous weeks, we have already dealt with the different kinds of communicative styles. However, for deeper understanding, we will be discussing them again all together at the same time for you to be able to learn about their differences and uses in various situations. We employ different styles every time that we communicate with others. Have you ever thought of the difference with the way you converse with your peers, parents, teachers, and doctors? How about when you deliver a speech in school? Or in some important events like wedding or birthday? Well, the differences that we make in our utterances depend on the situations that we are in and the kinds of people that we talk to. Communication is the act of sharing information from one person to another person or group of people, and it is vital to healthy and harmonious human relations. According to Fred Pryor in 2020, good communication opens doors and poor communication closes them. However, communication is not a one-size-fits-all approach. An individual's way of communicating may differ from another individual, and that is called communicative style. Communicative styles refer to the manner of communication that one is using in a certain situation. There are 5 different communicative styles that people use depending from the people they are interacting with and the situations that they are in. The first one is the casual style. The second is the conversational or formal style. The third one is the frozen style. The fourth one is the intimate style. And lastly, the consultative style. Let us now begin with the casual style. So this kind of communicative style refers to the informal use of language when communicating with peers or groups. Since it uses informal language, the sharing of information and thoughts may include slangs and colloquialism. When we say colloquialism and slang, these are languages that are used in an informal way by a group of people like teenagers and people with the same geographic region. Alright, so the people who use casual style do not necessarily need to have close relationships. Examples include conversations with classmates, peer chatting, and slang and colloquial words like YOLO. We often hear this from teenagers, alright? So YOLO means you only live once. Savage, elite, ain't gonna, etc. So these are some of its examples. Let us now move forward to the conversational style. This is also known as the formal style because it is used in formal setting. This style enables you to express spontaneously despite having practiced your speech. And like other communicative styles, which enable you to get responses from what is being said, this style is one way. That means to say, you cannot get responses from your audience or your listeners. You only speak spontaneously. Examples include opening and closing message for programs, religious messages, and important and formal announcements. Frozen style. This is also known as fixed speech. This style is used generally in a very formal setting, and it does not require any feedback from the audience. This is the most formal communicative style for respectful situations. It is a style of communication that almost never changes because it has a fixed and static language, and it uses long sentences with good command of grammar. Examples are messages during formal ceremonies such as graduation, wedding, or baptismal, and also pledges such as the recitation of Panatang Makabayan and anthems. Now let us have intimate style. This style is used in conversation among people who are very close to each other. Well, because they have the maximum of shared background information. This style of language communication is often coded and completely private, shared with families, husband and wife, and closest friends. In intimate communicating situation, people used labels like terms of endearment, honey, babe, sweetie. Alright, so while children call their parents mom and dad, pops and mams, puppy and momski. Also, friends call each other with their nicknames. This style also manifests coded vocabularies or terms, and it only uses simple sentence structure. Example includes communication between family members, friends, and relatives. And lastly, we have consultative style. This style is equally significant to other four styles in communication setting. This style is used in semi-formal communication situation. This communicative style is often used in group discussions at work, school, and churches. It is a two-way communication between speaker, the addressor or the communicator, and the listener, or the addressee or the receiver. One characteristic of this style is that the speaker uses participation and feedback of the listener. So you will notice this is the opposite of the conversational or the formal style, as well as the frozen style. Because in consultative style, the speaker supplies background information while the listener participates as needed. Examples of this include, for instance, your classmates asking for an advice from your teacher. So another is a patient listening to the recommendations from his doctor. So it's really a two-way communication process. Learning the different kinds of communicative styles helps us to avoid conflicts in communication. If we know what appropriate communicative style to use in various situations, misinterpretations can be prevented. And also, mastery of the different communicative styles helps us to develop good relationships among the people around us. Now, to check whether you understood the lesson or not, we will be doing the activities in your learning activity sheet. So there are 3 activities in your LAS, and what we will do now is to explain the first item in each of your activity, and we will try to answer them. But the remaining items will be done by you. Is that okay? Here is the general direction for your activities. Read the directions in the following exercises, then provide what is needed or asked in each item. You will be given 5 seconds to answer each item in your activities, but if you feel like you still need more time, feel free to pause this video. Good luck! For activity A, you have to read the statements comprehensively and encircle the letter of the correct answer. Let's try the first one. This style is a two-way communication between the speaker and the listener. Now, which do you think among these 4 choices corresponds to the statement? Is it A, intimate style, B, frozen style, C, consultative style, or D, conversational style? You have 5 seconds. Very good. The correct answer is C, consultative style. It is consultative style because it involves two-way process of communication. For example, when you go to the doctor could not probably give you some prescriptions or some pieces of advice if you will not communicate what you feel or what you think your body needs. Alright? Do you understand it now? Okay, now it's your turn to answer the remaining items. Let us now proceed to the next activity. For activity B, you are going to identify the most appropriate communicative style when you encounter the following scenarios. Then explain why do you think your chosen communicative style is the one appropriate to use in that scenario. Let us have the first scenario. You are having a hard time in understanding one of your math lessons. And then you called your teacher to ask for an advice about an effective way to understand the topic easier. Now, which do you think among the communicative styles is appropriate to use in this scenario? Is it casual, conversational or formal, frozen, intimate, or consultative? You have 5 seconds to answer. Correct. The answer is consultative style. Consultative style is appropriate to use in this kind of scenario because you are asking for pieces of advice from your teacher. Thus, it shows a two-way communication. You ask your teacher to help you, and your teacher will talk to you and will help you solve your problem. Now, it's your turn again to answer the remaining items. Hooray! We are now down to the last activity. So for activity C, you will work on the comic strips. You are going to write the dialogues of the characters and identify the communicative style that each situation shows. For the first item, the situation is: the Supreme Student Government President announces the school's upcoming event. Now, as the President of the Supreme Student Government, how will you announce the upcoming event in your school? You have 5 seconds to answer. Okay, as the SSG President, you may announce the upcoming event this way. As part of the nationwide celebration of the National Reading Month in November, our school will hold a reading activity, and everyone is encouraged to participate. The mechanics of the activity will be posted tomorrow on our official Facebook page. That's it. And the best communicative style that suits this situation is conversational or formal style, because you are delivering an important announcement to your schoolmates. Did you understand it? Now it's your turn to accomplish the other items. Now it's time to reflect on your learnings. What do you think is the importance of using appropriate communicative styles in different situations? Remember that there is no incorrect answer in this section. Feel free to write whatever it is that you have in mind. Congratulations for having successfully accomplished the last lesson for the first quarter. You have now mastered the different kinds of communicative styles, and you will now be able to communicate with others more meaningfully. Thank you for joining me. Good day!